Here is your global warming update for today, Thursday, November 13th, 2014. I am Adam Taxon. We are, of course, barely even halfway through the season of fall, but we have a lot of global warming news to cover. Yesterday, we focused on the global warming in Wyoming and the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Today, we will be heading further south from there with global warming news from Colorado and parts of the old Confederacy, Arkansas, and believe it or not, Florida. But first, courtesy of Weather Underground, which you can find online at wunderground.com, we'll talk about Oregon. Now, the Oregon coast tends to have mild winters, even if it is a bit rainy year-round, but the winters are mild. But something really odd is going on there for this mid-November. The Portland metropolitan area and the Willamette Valley are being affected by what is being termed Winter Storm Bozeman. 1/10 to 1/4 inch of ice accumulation were observed Thursday morning in parts of the Portland metro area, as well as in Salem, Corvallis, and Eugene. And it was accumulating in trees in some areas, and you probably don't need me to tell you what ice accumulating in trees does to power lines. Also, large snowflakes were actually occurring in various parts of Oregon and Washington state, which usually have very mild winters, or certainly mild falls. Now, on to Colorado. I have this from Fox affiliate KDVR. Denver, the biggest city in Colorado, of course, just shattered 2 low temperature records, and that was in a matter of hours. The temperature reached minus 13 degrees in Denver just before midnight last night, and that broke the record. The record was a mere minus 4 degrees, so it broke it by 9 degrees. That was set on November 12th, 1882. And just before 3 a.m. this morning, the temperature reached minus 14 degrees. And that broke the record low of minus 3 set on November 13th, 1916. Now, the National Weather Service is saying that today's mark ties for the second coldest temperature at any point in November in recorded Denver history. And keep in mind, we still have about 17 days to go in the month of November. This is, by the way, potentially bad news for you Bronco fans out there, if this trend continues. Peyton Manning, as many of you observed watching him play the Patriots in New England a few weeks ago, or actually it was only in the last week or two, he doesn't do so well in the cold. And perhaps for that reason, you actually want home field advantage for the AFC to go to the Indianapolis Colts, his old team, because they do play in a dome. Oh yeah, don't expect all that much relief out there if you're in Denver. The low for Denver on Saturday is expected to be 3 degrees. Now Arkansas. The National Weather Service says snow, admittedly only 1/10 of an inch, was recorded earlier today in Little Rock, the capital and biggest city. North Little Rock got less than a ½ inch of snow. But again, Arkansas is in the south. This was the earliest accumulating snowfall on record in more than 20 years in North Little Rock. Now, all this probably is making people think, wouldn't it be nice to be sitting by a pool in Florida? But before you book that ticket to go to Disney World later this week, you better hear this. The high in Orlando on Friday is only expected to be 69 degrees. Remember, Orlando is in central, not northern Florida. Highs in northern Florida on Friday are expected to be lower than that, in the mid-60s. And remember, we are talking here about Florida and only in mid-November. And as for the Florida Panhandle, it's a lot worse. Tonight, there is a freaking freeze warning in parts of the Panhandle. In the Pensacola area, where I happen to be at this very moment, it is expected to go down to 32 degrees around 5 a.m. tonight. We're talking about November 14th. And that is all for today's global warming update. I am Adam Taxon.